There is a supernatural world that surrounds us. Sometimes it manifests to people like you and me. You'll hear stories about this and so much more right here on Supernatural Confrontations. We'll get into this testimony, but first a word from our trusted sponsor. Heart disease, blood clots, strokes, and kidney failure. This all can be found on the back of a ibuprofen bottle. And to top it all off, ibuprofen doesn't even get to the main cause of your pain and swelling problems. It's only temporary pain relief. And it's only masking the true problem, which is inflammation. This isn't a solution to your pain. Right now, you can go to getnativepath.com/LA. I'll say that again, and it's right in the screen below. Getnativepath.com/LA to learn more and see your special offer for being a Mark Z listener. Folks, it's not only ineffective, it's expensive and downright dangerous, especially for seniors. That's why researchers are saying to add this Antarctic super nutrient to your diet. I'm talking about omega-3 fatty acids, but not just any form of omegas. These are omega-3 fatty acids sourced from wild-caught krill. The omega-3 content from krill oil has been shown to support healthy blood pressure, circulation, brain health, as well as reduce inflammation, swelling, and joint pain. In fact, it can outperform ibuprofen, Advil, and Tylenol, and it doesn't have the dangerous side effects mentioned above either. Better yet, for a limited time, you can grab Native Path Antarctic krill oil for as low as $23 a bottle. Just go to getnativepath.com/LA. Once again, getnativepath.com/LA right now to get your special offer for being a part of Mark's audience. Or click on the link below this video. Our guest today is Greg. He had an experience, and I haven't heard this yet, and I love this because I'm hearing it for the first time just like you did. Tell us what happened, please.
I believe I had angelic help. I was 15, driving my dad's car without a license, little 1961 Austin Healey, with a friend. And it was kind of night. It was night, probably about 9 o'clock, and kind of racing down this hill in Renton, Washington. And the light changed. So it's going down a hill, comes to an intersection, which is straight. So it's downhill, it straightens out, then it goes back downhill, then around the corner on the street. And I said, hold on, we're going. And I gunned it, which is pretty dumb because I was about 150 yards out. But I started flashing my lights and honking so nobody would, run the light the other way. And thank God nobody did. It was like one of the stupidest driving moves I ever did. But when we hit the intersection, the car was propelled into the air, and I didn't know it. And I'm taking the steering wheel, and I'm looking over at my friend. I said, sit your butt down, because he's about 6 inches off the seat, right? And we had no seat belts in those days. And I'm steering the wheel, and I was like, I've got no steering. What's going on, right? And so we're flying through the air for maybe 100 yards. It was quite a distance.
Whoa.
And when we landed, it was right on the corner. Had the steering wheel been misaligned, I would have been in oncoming traffic or over an embankment, and it would probably been the death of both of us. As it turned out, it's perfectly aligned. The Austin Healey is like a Porsche. It's one of the best cornering cars there's ever been. So we hit that corner and went around it just as smooth as as if I had planned it that way. But I didn't plan it that way. I was just kind of holding on for dear life. And so I think that was the case of angelic help, even though I didn't see the angel or anything like that.
Right.
It's just the odds of that are kind of small, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, if you're flying through the air like 100 yards, I mean, anything can happen. So
Right.
This is pretty interesting. Well, thanks for coming on the record.
Those are the highlights. But if I were to make a testimony out of it, which I do, I witness to people sometimes. I've had probably 20 or 23 or 4 close encounters. I would call those near-death experiences, not resurrection. Never died that I've known of and come back. But I've been really close to death a few times because of instances like that, near motorcycle collisions, near car collisions, near drowning, things like that. And so my testimony is, gee, God must want me to be here for some reason, for some purpose to complete in my lifetime. Otherwise, I've had so many opportunities to not be here.
So it looks like, the hand of the Lord is on you and you're being protected. I think that's a fair statement.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming on the record.
And I'm very thankful for that too, by the way.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on the record. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, thanks for letting me on.
All right. Folks, I will be at the Prophecy Watchers Conference coming up at the end of the month. And prophecywatchers.com, prophecywatchers.com. All of our films are now available on our streaming site, streaming.lamarzulli.net. $4.99. You can watch any of the films. There's 30 of them. Time to do your homework. Thanks so much for watching, folks. Remember, the supernatural world is real, and sometimes it manifests to people like you and me. Thanks for watching.
Officials endeavoring to obtain all top flying saucers.
Marcel's own words, it was something that he'd never seen before, something from another world. In our opinion, Marcel was a patsy.
Just verbal directions, we know what about it.
That his father was telling the truth.
He did in the eye, and he said, it really happened, and he held his hand up just like this. They had 6 fingers, not 5.
He said they looked quite a bit like us.
Do you think your grandfather was a patsy?
100%.
Cover up by the U.S. military.
Do you believe our government has made contact with intelligent extraterrestrials?
I can't discuss in public setting.
Do we have the bodies of the pilots?
Biologics came to some of these recoveries.
He deliberately obfuscated and made lies to the American people.
When the Pentagon decided to lie about what happened at Roswell.
Because standing 6 feet away, this little being about 3.5 foot tall. She said the nurses who were there during the crash, they're now at a convent.
The first book that Randall wrote, and he said to Jess, he said, that's not fiction.
But for everybody, I mean, this is a human thing. It's a worldwide changing, life-changing for everyone.
Was certainly not a weather balloon and not something from this earth.